Good morning, good morning. How are we doing today? It is Taco Tuesday. Not only with the food, but with our 8 p.m. deadline tonight. Oh yeah, we're gonna have our 8 p.m. deadline with Trump coming up. Getting fun in the short term. Expect a lot of volatility today, honestly. Definitely looking at SPY in more of a bearish way as 660 has rejected once again. How many times do we have to look at 660 to the downside here? Looking at our trend line, SPY is really flirting with it here today. Very close to it as the deadline with Iran approaches. This is going to be a crazy night at 8 p.m. Eastern. And a crazy day. Watch for more headlines to hit. We're probably going to see lots of big updates, lots of headlines coming through. Good morning, Jason. Forced to Work, Ken Coded, Almighty J, Tangy Man, Manicured, Zoidberg, Toro, and Xavier. How are we doing? Xavier said, sitting on the sidelines today, anticipating an unexpected move. I like that. I would not be surprised if we got an unexpected move coming through. Let's do a poll here today, right off the bat. I want everybody to get their votes in, get their votes going. So far, SPY's been moving slightly lower on its opening 5-minute candle. This poll is going to be about how the market will move following the Iran news today. Will we end up falling down? Will the market end up going green? Very curious to hear your thoughts. Let's go. Let's see what the vote looks like here. Get those votes in. How will the market react to Iran news today into tomorrow? Markets will go green. Markets will go red. Markets will go flat/mixed. I don't care. I am going to win. Vote for what you think is going to go on here with this move, because this is going to be a big, big deadline. And again, just because the deadline's at 8 doesn't mean the market has to move at 8. We might start to see an announcement that a deal was made earlier, or maybe Trump is going to strike before the deal or something weird. You never know. Shout out to Mason for winning the bracket. He won our bracket challenge. Of course, Mason won. I thought that was funny. Even Hunter beat me because Michigan. He beat me by 50 points. That's not fair. How dare them? Yeah, shout out to Mason winning the bracket. One more scout says a whole portfolio will die tonight, never to be brought back again. SPY is pulling back hard. Everybody's going to be watching the news today very closely. I've been eyeing it up already this morning. There's been a couple of updates going through this morning. Senior Iranian sources said that if the situation gets out of control, Iran's allies will also close the Bab al-Mandeb waterway, which is kind of like the Strait of Hormuz. I don't think it's like as much oil, but it helps add to the supply constraints and shipping problems. If U.S. attacks Iran's power plants, the entire region and Saudi Arabia will fall into complete darkness. That would be wild. The Tehran Times reports that Iran closes all diplomatic and indirect channels of contact with the U.S. I just continue to see updates pouring through, guys. I hate sitting there being the update man. But hey, that's what it is. I just hope you guys don't mind. Tesla bouncing off 344, 345. Tesla moving lower again here this morning at open. This sell-off is getting nasty. Tesla's trying to bounce at 345 after breaking lower again. It'd be interesting to see it truly flush off here. This is a big zone of support, though, Tesla's on, so I'm not too surprised to see it bouncing. I have it marked on the chart, too. Right around that 345 mark. Taco for sure. We're doomed, Jack says. Next is going up with natural gas. Nice to see some of those stocks moving again, though, yeah. Next decade really flying back up. This has been a volatile play with Next, but the big money trade has been doing very well. Kind of back and forth, but it keeps continually staircasing higher after these couple consolidation days that come into play. Shout out to the big money trader there with Next. Zachary says Apple's dumping. They were doing great yesterday. Oh man, yeah they are. Talk about an Apple turnover. I could take one for breakfast right now, but the stock is nice too, I suppose. It's a nice drop. Wow, straight to the downside. 250 is coming up. Might hold as support. I don't know, though. It's a pretty straight down move. There's a clear drop off there. Tangy Man's excited now. Zoidberg said that they got out of their Tesla short when it hit like 350, 250. Great call out in the video a few days ago. Appreciate that, Zoidberg. Nice stuff. Tesla seems like it might try to make a little bounce back today. Definitely hitting and holding 345 support in a strong fashion so far. To the SPY we go. 655 bouncing here. How did you trading floor members like the new update released last night? On to TradingView. Trying it now, Zachary says. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. It's not released to the public yet, but it's in the works. Trading floor members get the first look at it. And hey, if you're not in the trading floor yet, the code StockedUp is going to be ending tonight. If you've been wanting to add another year on to your current subscription, or if you just want to join the floor, use code StockedUp and use this link. StockedUp will be ending tonight at midnight, so be ready. Get it in before it closes. Check out the Auto Trends channel, Arabuto. No, you don't have to update your PC. What? No, no, no. It's a new update in the trading floor, Gonzalez. KNMSO didn't even notice the channel. What? Well, hey, I'm glad I said something then. I was hoping it would help a couple people out. Oh, wow. Tesla's already back testing support. Look at that. Already back down. Wow, getting lower. 344 coming up. Wow. Wow, that's huge. Gonna have to lock some in here. Little 120%er on some of the scaling out strategy there. UnitedHealth up $23 today, Ricky says. UNH. Wow, UNH, what was up with that move last night? What's up with that? Let's see. Yeah, and I'm really looking to lock in some today, Zoidberg, as well, because, of course, because of the uncertainty with tonight, right? Who knows? Maybe there'll be a random deal with Iran, and the market will just explode, right? Right back up. So I think it's a smart time to at least lock some in. Iran isn't going to be making any deals, I'm sure, Jeanette says. The hard part is with this Iran situation is we don't know who Trump's talking to, right? There's all of this talk that Trump could be potentially talking to a totally different regime compared to the regime that thinks that they're in charge. Or you guys kind of understand what I'm saying, right? Like, let's say that the U.S. bombed their leadership and wiped out a lot of them, right? There's probably a lot of, like, different little factions trying to become in charge. Something that this kind of makes me think about is it's a very weird time in history right now, but the only thing that I really know to compare it to would be something as of, like, during World War II, whenever they finally started to take out the Nazis, right? And then, like, you know, there's that big fight for who's going to be the leader now, right? And that's kind of, I think, where they're at. They're like, okay, obviously the old Ayatollah's son now has been technically put in. But again, a lot of people like to say that Trump might be communicating with a totally different regime. Now, again, I'm not saying that that's true. I'm just saying that, you know, what we're hearing out there. What's up, Jose? Arabudo says he's accidentally talking to the wrong country. Now, that would be terrible. I wish I kept the 70% is better than 0%, Wolf said. Apple's dying below 250. Wow, yeah, it is. Continuing to die. Not holding up. Oh, shoot. Sorry about that. It's not released to the public yet, Chansey, so that won't be happening. But hey, join up on the live Q&A this Wednesday and go ahead and ask Mike any questions that you have about it. That'll probably be a really big topic on the live Q&A on Wednesday. But it's not public yet, so I'm not trying to get too deep into it besides just, you know, kind of throwing it out there a little bit. Kind of getting our feet wet, right? But don't worry, we'll eventually be looking at it a lot more. But you know, Chansey, without getting too deep, the 2 to 4 hour target duration, all that really means is that that's your target time to hold the trade. That's all. So it would be a trade that you hold for like 2 to 4 hours. Essentially like a trend that you would follow throughout the whole day. Almost. Would you be able to slap a Bookmap on the screen for Apple? Sure, I think I already have Apple open. Oh, I don't. How dare I? Let me open it real quick. I'll slap it back up once it loads. Let's go eye up some SPY really quick, too. Hell yeah, Manicured. MGM had some weird price action yesterday. It was kind of crazy and ripping towards resistance today. Same deal, 1.25%. Moving well above resistance from the past couple days. Love it. Here you go, Jose. Let's pull up Apple here. Hang on, my Bookmap's giving me some problems. There we go. Looks like there was a decent stack at 250, but it got wiped out. 244 and 240 are pretty big too. You can see a lot of buyers, though, coming in between 248 and 250. Kind of strange. And the strange part is that they kind of stepped in right after 250 broke down. So kind of strange there. Wow, MGM. Keep it up. Keep it going. Trying to get in long on USAR. Where's the best base, you think, Manicured says? The best base and most ideal spot to enter would be around 1140. I know that that's pretty far away from where it is now, but USAR is a big mover. The average percent rise over the past year, is 7.46%. The average percent fall is 4.13%. That's a pretty big pullback. Thanks for joining up, KO. Ha! Always KO. I always enjoy it. Ooh, Tessie's still down pretty low for the morning here. Just rejected off 345 as it tried to rip back up. Starting to fade lower again. Will it make a new low of the day? It just might happen here in a couple minutes with the momentum that's starting to play out. Poor Tessie. The Tesla longs are getting crushed here in the short term, unfortunately. That's a massive drop-off starting to happen. Let's go over and check Apple, which has just been straight down all morning. It fell under 250 by just a little bit and is now trying to bounce back, or at least form a base. It hasn't really attempted that much of a bounce back, but the base is forming anyways. How's the VIX, Almighty J is asking? Yeah, it's popping off a little bit. 2634. Looking at the VIX on the daily, it's starting to look like it's doing a bit of a coil back up. It's funny, VIX has actually followed a trend almost to the upside, which is not totally uncommon for VIX. You know, we see it follow trends like this quite often. Now, it didn't quite fall down to the trend on this pullback, but you get the point, right? It drops a little bit and then pops, drops a little bit, pops. Right now, we're at like the bottom end of it dropping a bit more. Tessie! I can't stop looking at it. It's too bearish today. Looks like it's about to flush. It's been flushing, but it's getting worse. If it touches 340 today, probably lock in some more. Okay. How's the VIX? As we watch the SPY today, it's going to be important to continue to have that open mind to the downside, right? SPY has rejected here a lot in the past, and it's really failing to break through this trend line. Really solidifying this downwards move. Especially with a lot of the talks about like Iran closing diplomatic and direct channels or indirect channels of contact with the US. So they're closing diplomatic talks and things. It really seems like that, you know, this situation is going to heat up a little bit tonight. Judging by how the US struck in the past, I don't know if we start to do boots on the ground or something more prevalent, it'll get pretty crazy. Let's go see Apple really quickly. Yeah, this is a big zone of support for Apple right here where it's trying to bounce close to 249 to 250 and then down around 245 to 246. This is a big zone. Some of these lines I've had on there for a long time, though. What's up, Vintage? Tommy Boy's in the house. Let's go. That's awesome. I'm looking at these Tommy Boy sound buttons here now. I wish they had better ones. But hey, if you're just joining up today, don't forget to vote up in the poll. How will markets react to the Iran news today into tomorrow? Will markets go green? Will they go red? Flat / mixed? Or you don't care, you're gonna win. Curious, 52 votes. Get the votes going. Get more votes in there. There's 90 viewers. I want 90 votes today. I feel like we could somehow get 40 more votes. I think that's definitely possible. It's a big headline coming up tonight. Well, it's a headline and a deadline. 8 p.m. Iran has to make the decision. Sounds like Trump is not going to be doing much. For example, definitely not, seems like he's definitely not going to be accepting any terms that they give us. That's for sure. Apple continuing to die. Look at that. Even breaking under intraday support there. 249, 250. What a wild time to be a trader. Demir says, all right, boys, I'm out. Peace. See you later, Demir. See you later. VIX is going wild. Tesla might fall under 340. Oh my gosh. Tesla continued to slide off. Let's go. Let's go look at next. Ripping up here, 8.5%. Apple news, foldable phone hits engineering snags. Can't be good for Apple. Uh-oh. Damn, that's the next big thing I wanted from Apple. Come on, Apple. Uh-oh. Apple's starting to look pretty scary on the chart. Let's go ahead and draw out this trend on Apple here. There's a trend going on that I'm seeing from the chart. If this lines up, it'll be pretty interesting. Yeah, it doesn't line up great. It doesn't line up great, but it's still interesting nonetheless. Don't tell me it's the channel. Oh my gosh, look at this channel on Apple. Oh boy. If it falls to the bottom end of this channel, it's gonna be buy the dip time. Buy the dip time if it falls down through this support here soon. It'll probably be buy the dip time around like 220 to 225. That sounds awful though, Jake. I haven't seen that news today. Is that what's sending Apple down? I suppose I should have pulled it up. Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. It hits engineering snags, shipment delays possible. I really want one of those whenever they come out, I gotta say. Yeah, it's a big channel there. Jake saw it on Stock Labs. Yeah, it's on, it was on, oh, you know what? You actually saw it after it came out. That news actually hit earlier this morning, but I do see how Zero Hedge just threw it on Stock Labs too. It looks like this news actually came out at like 1 in the morning. What the heck? Good pullback there under 250. What would be a debit spread for Apple if we expect a full retrace to the trend? Like a 207 put and a 250 call short. If you expect a retrace to the trend, like to 207, and you're looking at 250 calls. So you're looking at like a retrace down to the trend. Okay, I like this. I like your thinking here. Really, I like it. You're going to go with a put debit spread, of course, in this scenario. At least that's what I would go with right now. Given how Apple's moving, what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to take advantage of Apple's big dip, but at the same time, you're going to have that shorted side. That's what I would do. You could run up a lot of other strategies that are more complicated. At the end of the day, though, it's really just about getting the direction correctly on Apple and giving yourself enough room. I think as long as you're going with smart strikes, you'll be okay. So let's go eye up the chain a little bit and see what we can do with a debit spread here. Let's see. So the bottom end, you know, we're looking for like, yeah. Yeah, probably going to be like, probably something like the 245 to 220 to 225. So you'll short like 245. Sorry. You'll long the 245, put, buy the 220 or 225. Let me go look at it on the chart really quick and eye it up for you. Then I'll bring it over to the Thinkorswim chart real quick. Gonna have to have some time on this as well. At least for a couple of months. Probably an expiration out to either August or September. Most people are probably gonna want August. It'll be more advantageous for you. Okay. And if you went with the 225 or the 220, those are like 800, 900 bucks. Let's say we go with 225s. going for around $925 right now. The 245s are going for $1,500. So it'll end up costing you $635 per contract with this setup. But I like the overall setup here and your thought process and being smarter with the debit spread. It's going to limit some of your gains, but of course, at the same time, you don't need to necessarily hold that, for that large of a move. You need something that's going to be a bit more safe and something that's going to work out more times than not. Let me get back to... Got things thrown all over my monitors for that one. Thoughts on PG, YouTube Swan said. I missed that earlier. Sorry about that, Swan. Proctor and Gamble. You think it could be a solid play. It's also the largest holding in XLP. Just because it's the largest holding of XLP doesn't mean it's going to do good. But whenever I'm looking at PG right now, there's a big zone of support around 138 to 140 that I would not be surprised if it held at. The only negative is that we're seeing these makers like Procter and Gamble or even like J&J. Although J&J's done a lot better than Procter and Gamble. Some of these have pulled back very hard here, like especially people that make, it seems like, healthcare products and things. It's been a rough couple of years. Just obviously some better than others, but PG has been kind of down in the dumps. I'm not like a huge follower of Procter and Gamble. It's known to be one of those value-oriented stocks or companies. I don't know, just doesn't seem to have the price action that I'd want. Personally, I think it'd be better for you just to buy up the SPY, if I was being honest. Unfortunately, PG is just so low growth. If they pay a dividend, but the stock falls 10%, I mean, that doesn't really help much either. I know, right, Jake? It's very weird. U.S. officials said that this morning that we're in direct contact and definitely negotiating. At the same time, Iran said that they closed everything. So I don't know. It's very confusing, Jake. I wish I could tell you. Honestly, I think the only way to really know is to have access to Trump's microphone. Or Trump's text line. Yeah, that's another big thing, Manicured. The taxes really suck. It's really not as good as, let's say, a good business that just keeps reinvesting in themselves to grow. It's Masters Week here too. Zoidberg says, Jesus Christ, SPY's coming for my stop. Let's go see. I don't like to hear that, but I liked your wording. Wow, bounce off 652, back to the upside, testing 655. Tesla attempting a slight bounce back too off 340. Yeah, I see what you mean. Man, we saw SPY drop right into the support zone, 650 to 653. That is a big $3 zone, but we've seen SPY bounce in there time and time again lately. It's crazy. Stopped out, Zoidberg said. One thing to watch for here is resistance on SPY at 655. It seems like it's coming up here pretty quickly. Just remember, today is a bit of a crazy day. We can see headlines come out that push the stock market up, and then 15 minutes later, Trump can say something and we're right back down. It's going to be a wild day on that side of things. Let's go back to Next. Next was on fire earlier today. Still up 6.2% as well. A lot of good price action and movement coming into play. Penn Gaming up 3.4%. MGM had that nice opening run. Zoom up 2.6%. Very nice movement by Zoom. Sell, 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 baby. Up, up, and away, says. Tesla turned right back down. SPY rejected slightly. We'll see if it starts to form a base or a higher low off of the low of day. That'll be a big thing to look for here with that recent low. I'm surprised more stocks aren't green on my watch list, but I guess the SPY turned over pretty hard. Normally, we at least see more like weird growth stocks or something else maybe moving a bit. Go back to the VIX. It pulled back slightly here. BMNR is right back down. Same thing with Coinbase. 4.65% to the downside again. Looking at the daily with Coinbase, it's starting to turn over towards its recent low. Remember with Bitcoin, we're looking at something very close and carefully here with Bitcoin. Look at the way in which Bitcoin moved here as it dropped out of the channel or dropped out of the trend. It's doing a similar move now here where we're at now with Bitcoin. And if we see that play out just like that once again, it's going to get nasty. I'm not saying it has to be that bad again, though. That was pretty bad. Very bad. Nvidia and Apple about to dump big. Up, up, and away, says. It does look pretty rough right now. We'll see if it accelerates. Apple just has not stopped, so talk about a bleed off. Apple has support around 244 to 247-ish. Up, up, and away, said. 244, 247. I have that as a range. I like that range that you're naming off there. I have it more like 245 to 247, but either way. Close enough in my book. Nike, $42, has almost 1 million shares stacked up on Bookmap. I think it's going to hit that today. Holy shit, Nike. The way in which Nike sold off has been insane. I was eyeing up a Nike longer-term position up here. Really glad that I did not get in and hold Nike at all. You know what the SPY looks like right now? And this is kind of strange, but it's almost like a spitting image of each other with the SPY. Look at the SPY where I'm pointing right now. Note how whenever you look at where the SPY moved here, and what I'm pointing at is the Liberation Day sell-off. Look at how SPY had this consolidation point and then just had that massive drop-off again, right? It's almost like the SPY is at that exact point right now. Like, it's had this slight consolidation move back up. But, like, are we going to get that big boom? You know, truly back down? That's the $1 million question. either way, it looks like a spitting image of each other on the chart. People without money in the market always sitting on the sidelines waiting for a drop, Jake said. They really are, aren't they? Time in the market is better than timing the market, we'll say. Now, for options trading, that might not necessarily be true, but for normal investing and growth as a trader, yes. You would have been diamond-handed bag holder on Nike or scaled out? I would have cut probably manicured. I would have probably looked for a cut definitely right here after it broke down here. But yeah, this support zone is really what I was eyeing up. Unfortunately, though, or I shouldn't say unfortunately, fortunately, whenever it got crushed under support there, it happened pretty quick. So the momentum was there, so I was kind of like, yeah, I'm not going to be entering, you know, until I see good confirmation back up or something. And we never saw that, which was, again, a good fortunate thing in my eyes. What a wild start it's been. Here to this trading day. The more I stare at Nike, the worse it looks. All right, SPY's still trying to push higher here, testing 655 now. Didn't truly get a big intraday move back down or crazy turnover or anything like that yet, which is good. Are you on Trump's text list, Tom? If so, I believe it's just you and J.E. Who's J.E.? Who is that? I'm trying to think. I can't even think about who that is. Oh, vintage. I almost forgot about that with all the craziness going on lately. I have no idea why my TV stopped playing the live. Man, KNMSO, sometimes that stuff just happens. Like, if your internet bogs down or maybe the server was crowded or something. It's tough to say. I think your TV, though, is conspiracizing against me. Someone just made they posted up something fake in Discord. Tommy Boy did. How long till we get one of these? Yes, it's fake. It says Trump says that he's going to postpone it for another week or something. Yeah, how long until we truly get like a postponement post today? You're probably right. Playing baseball with my nephew at Easter on Sunday, and gosh, my neck hurts now so bad. Gotta love getting old. Tesla, new low of the day. Wow, the selling pressure continues with Tesla. 340 breaking to the downside here. Wow, Tesla's giving out at the moment. Holy shit. Damn, what a move. 340. Yeah, he does. Yes, he does. Taco Tuesday up and away said. That's funny. Man, Tesla's buy wall at 340 was pretty large there. There was like 166,000 volume that hit there as that broke through. How to read Bookmap, Almighty said. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good videos out there, Almighty, but generally, what you're looking at is the orange and red lines, and even the blue and yellow lines. It's showing you the amount of shares that are stacked up on the order book. So essentially what there is you're looking at people who are placing limit orders, right? Like, let's say that right now we see, at 335, there's this big orange line. And you read here, it says that there's 40,000 on the COB. And what that is, it's the current order book. And you're looking at the amount of shares that are at that level. Of course, some have more than others, some have less. So you got to keep that in mind. But whenever I'm looking at this, the darker the red it is, the more that are there. Then it goes down to like orange, dark orange, and then yellow, and then blue, and then just gets to this like dark blue / blackish background. It goes and follows this up here where my cursor is right now. Or can you see that even? Let me triple check. Oh, you can't even see that. Hang on. It follows this right here, this gradient pattern, I guess you would call it. It kind of starts out, like I said, dark blue, black, and then light blue, and then yellow, and then orange, and then red. Or orange-red. I don't know. It's close. The dots. So the dots are showing you how much volume comes in that moment. Now, I'm zoomed out a lot, so the dots are kind of just bunched up, and they're all very big. Obviously, some are bigger than others. Like, as we broke through 340, there was a big dot because a lot more volume came in. What this could help you with is, especially with, like, market orders and just orders hitting the market and filling. Like, let's say right now, out of nowhere, we saw a dot, kind of like what we saw at 340 come into play, right? There might be some, like, huge player that just bought a ton of Tesla all at once, or something like that. Why is Tesla crashing so hard, Tom? I have not seen any exact news as of why Tesla's moving down like this, but there's a lot of things going on right now. Number one, whenever we think about Tesla, you have to remember that the SpaceX IPO is coming. I've seen a lot of people saying that they want to sell out of Tesla and buy the SpaceX IPO. Is that a smart decision? Time will tell. But honestly, I wouldn't do that. But I've heard a lot of talk about that happening. At the same time, Tesla is essentially doing a company-wide transition. They're trying to go from cars being their bread and butter to kind of like full self-driving software and robotics. And this is going to be a big difference for Tesla. Elon said time and time again that the humanoid robots will be their biggest source of revenue at Tesla, or the main driver of revenue. He worded it similar to that. Don't quote me over here. But it's going to cost a lot of money for them to make that transition work, to build up the factories, to switch over some factories probably, to You know, just do the research and development. Like, there's a lot that's going to go on. Regulatory concerns. There is a lot of that going on out there. TSL has had buy territory around the 284s. I think that's where it's heading. Did you mean Tesla or TSL? Definitely meant Tesla, right? Oh no, you probably meant the long Tesla ETF. No, you didn't. That's funny. TSL, I've never looked at TSL before, but it's the Granite Shares 1.25x long Tesla daily ETF. Kind of funny. Let's go see Palantir. These book maps. Charts don't matter today. We're all just trading the big yapper indicator. That's funny. I've never heard someone say that one before. Sorry, guys. Answering someone's question really quick. Vintage said, thought you'd like that. Man, that's a pretty good support here on Nvidia. I have to say, I really lean to the downside with the way that Nvidia is looking here. I love 175. I love it breaking down. Now, I like it for a scalp, like a day trade to the downside. Holding for 2 to 3 weeks, though, is a different ball game. Will it just crash already? Ken Coded said. We're in a weird dynamic right now. I feel like there's going to be a lot of gambling going on revolving around the Iran deadline tonight. Just be careful if you do play some gambles here on tonight. Or play some trades, as they say. Let's go, Robert. Coming through clutch. Hi, Tom. Thoughts on Starbucks with the Bookmap? Let's throw it on there. Get it loaded up ASAP. SBUX. Haven't looked at Starbucks in a while, but I'll tell you what. I saw them at the top of my watch list yesterday. They were up quite a bit for them. Looking at the daily chart, yeah, they're starting to recover back in grand fashion here. Starbucks also has weak correlation to the SPY as well. Was holding $100 calls to next week. Just doing very small plays for my break. Hard field to play. Stay blessed. Love it, Robert. You as well. Holding $100 calls out to next week. Looks like Starbucks, as it's been popping here, it's popping back into resistance, but it can definitely keep going. You're only holding out the next week. If your expiration is very short term, like let's say, you're holding till next week, but it also expires next week, that could become a problem as theta decay takes hold if it doesn't move in your intended direction fast enough. But whenever I'm looking at Starbucks right now, it looks pretty strong. I would not be surprised if Starbucks attempted to continue to rally here, back up to the recent high, if not even push through it, and really continue to go. It's in a broader term uptrend. There's a big trend of higher lows on the daily chart here. Higher low, higher low, higher low, and most recently, higher low again. Now, of course, this trend could always break, but as of now, it seems to be playing out very well. Starbucks is fairly choppy, so we got to keep that in mind and with short-term trades. Generally with Starbucks, I like having a little bit more time than not in case you get stuck in a period like this, like of chop. Which sometimes they can last for quite a while with Starbucks. Overall, though, seems like you're in at a good time while the stock's moving. It's hot. Did they have any news recently? Yesterday, joint venture with Boyu Capital to boost China presence. Okay. Starbucks expands tipping and adds bonuses to boost barista pay. How about you just pay them normally so that we don't have to pay $12 for coffee and then tip the people as well? That's what I would do, Starbucks. I like the bonuses, but how do you expand tipping? Let's go see if we can pull up Nike for somebody really quick. They really want one. Let's see. Nike. It's a big watcher lately. What's weird is my screenshot tool doesn't let me screenshot it as good anymore either. It still lets me, it just isn't as hot. Let's see, 170 here on ZOM. Big resistance overhead there. I haven't checked in on the oil stocks today, but I figured we'll hop in and do it. Let's see, XOM. Moving higher, 166, 166.50. XOM. Up a little bit today. I saw crude oil was moving a bit last night. How did it end up now, though? USO was still holding pretty strong. Yeah, crude is up, still holding very well. USO too. Nice jump, 143. I was watching USO earlier. It was looking pretty solid. It's still just consistently, slowly trending higher. It's not like it's necessarily exploding. It's almost kind of doing what it did yesterday throughout the day. Like just a nice, slow extension up. Although it's pretty choppy on the way up, to be fair. Can we take a look at Meta on the Bookmap? Let's see what we have here. Soon my Bookmap's going to be all filled up. Let me delete some of these off. I'm going to try to only delete the ones I don't think people are going to ask for. Here's Meta right now. Looks like 560 is the clear buy wall underneath here. 565 is the closer support and buy wall. There's even some at 563. Now, because they're stacked up on Bookmap doesn't mean it has to hold as support. Definitely not. Especially in a market like this, where we're seeing stocks like really tank to the downside and have real momentum down. You have to be ready for those to continue. Look at ACHC. Acadia Healthcare. It's a good jump. 25.75. I've never heard. Oh, you know, I have heard of Acadia Health. It's just been a long time. Looks like it's running up, though, in a good way right now. This is a good gap up, pushing the recent high. It's going to be pushing for a bigger breakout here soon. This is big for Acadia. Acadia Health. I like it. What do you do with the standalone Bookmap versus the TOS? I think that with TOS, you can only look at one at a time. Also, one of the big things is that if you're using Bookmap and you want to use any of the add-ons or special indicators or, quite frankly, anything else Bookmap has to offer besides the basics of the heat map, it's better to just get the Bookmap platform itself. There's a whole bunch of add-ons that people make and code for Bookmap. It's not even just you know, Bookmap making these things. Like, there's actually like other people that make add-ons for Bookmap. It gets pretty complex and pretty in-depth whenever you start really researching the Bookmap. But the best way to get the questions about Bookmap, if you have any more in-depth questions manicured, if you go to Bookmap's website, they actually have like a live chat that pops up. That live chat has helped me so much over the years. Shout out to that. Bye-bye, my American spy. What? Wow, SPY really did pull back there, though. I must say, 650's coming up. How's Tessie? New low of the day again, 337. I shouldn't have locked in earlier. No, I'm joking. I'm surprised nobody said that yet, though. Impossible to call it tops and bottoms. When scaling out, of course, it's always gonna happen like this. Honestly, with just about every trade, if you think about that, you're gonna drive yourself insane. Wow, Tesla. VIX is starting to move. It seems like the talks between the US and Iran are not going to be resolved, or are not going to resolve anything either way. You could see 4 at a time or even more, but it's too small. 66th Productions said Tesla and Nvidia calls on the radar for tomorrow. Definitely not right now, 66th. We have to remember Trump's 8 p.m. deadline tonight. Honestly, if you start holding calls into tomorrow, I think that that's a pretty risky move. I'm not saying that you're going to win or lose. You might win, but it's going to be risky either way. You could wake up to a major gap up or gap down. And of course, the markets will be closed. You won't be able to manage your calls till it opens tomorrow. Very strange, though. Very strange time. Very strange time. You tried their BM, it was too expensive too. TOS only charges 40 a month. Yeah, it does only do 40 a month, yeah. Yep, it's a lot cheaper. It's a lot easier to get access to. It's definitely a good deal that they have. If you have Thinkorswim and you also want Bookmap, I would message Thinkorswim support and ask them to add it on, and they'll add it on for you. They'll add on a free version even. But obviously just pay the $40 and get the data for all stocks. It's the real way to do it. Look at that 1-minute reversal now on Nvidia. Pretty good comeback. SPY trying to come back too. It's really hard to say, Manicured. Everybody always says that, but of course, that doesn't mean that, you know, they're trying to scare people out, for example. Might be the case sometimes, though. I know what you mean. Wow, Tessie. 338. I will say on the Tesla downside position recently, it's seen a lot of volatility too. Late last week, I mean, Theta was starting to eat away at it to the point of where it was about to break even. It was good to see it turn back over late last week or into this week again. When is the last time the president started early? He always starts the meeting late. Yeah. They have been starting pretty late, haven't they? You're right. You are right. I remember when Biden was president, we used to literally call it being on Biden Standard Time. One time, or not even one time, there was like 3 times that I was going to go live in the middle of the day for a Biden event. And I swear, like 3 times, I had to sit here and wait like an hour to like an hour and a half or longer for him to come out. With Trump, it hasn't happened too much yet. He is always late, it seems like, with a lot of these cabinet meetings and things, though. But for the big things, it seems like he's generally there. Biden time. I'll never forget that. Now we'll call it Trump time for the next couple of years. CLK, USO just pushing hard, crude oil futures on TradingView going off, G-Dog says. The one thing about CL on TradingView, remember that it's a bit delayed on TradingView. Here, I'll show you what CL really looks like right now. It's still probably going nuts. Oh my God, look at this, guys. Oil just tanked on the 1-minute chart. Holy, 1 minute ago. Uh-oh. Oil really tanked down there. Ah, here's what did it. Here's what did it. Diplomatic and indirect channels of talks with the U.S. are not closed, according to the Tehran Times newspaper. The state-run Tehran Times newspaper says the talks are not closed. That's pretty big. That's why we saw oil tank like that. It's still moving up, though, on the TradingView chart because it's delayed. Don't forget that. It's delayed. SPY started popping back on that news, but not a ton. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not near as much as oil moved. It seemed like oil had a much larger move. Almighty said they found oil on the moon. We are saved. Here's the one big thing that I'm thinking, you know, with thinking about planets like that. Like, what would happen if, like, we went to a different planet and we found, like, better oil? Or, I don't know, like, something that, like, it's like energy, except, you know, you just need, like, a little bit. Tell Elon to pick up the oil with SpaceX. He'll probably do that. Almighty calls it alien oil. Oh, yeah. Up, and away. Highly correlated. Highly correlated. They kind of inverse each other. But yes, the correlation is there for sure right now. Between SPY and oil is what they're talking about. Every time that we see oil ripping, SPY likes to dip, and vice versa. Sorry about that, Zoidberg. They said this BS price action keeps stopping me out. I'm off. Thanks, Tom. No problem, Zoidberg. Have a great rest of your day. Sorry about the stops being hit today. It is a harder trading day, I would say, in my eyes. Try entering where you're getting stopped out, Zoidberg. It seems like you're getting stopped out at times for, like, good entries back to the downside. But we're actually going to be ending the stream here soon, too, so good timing. Tangi says the entire year has been a harder day to trade. It has been a tough year. I'll say that. Definitely has been. Let's go ahead and end the poll here. What did we get to on the vote? 85 votes. We're 5 votes away from hitting the 90 mark that I really wanted to hit. Four votes now. Just 4. I know someone out there can do it. Get it in for us here before the stream ends. QQQ and SPY slowing up here at their resistances. SPY stuck at 653 right now. Wow, we might continue the downtrend. That pop up definitely didn't last very long. And this is what I meant by the weird headlines to the, or the weird reactions to the headlines today. Watch oil like a hawk here. If you see oil start to downtrend more and break through 116 a barrel, that will be a bad sign. That will be very rough. Lurkers, we summon your votes. All right, well, we'll call it at 87. We'll just call it where it is. I appreciate you guys voting up, though. That was a big poll today. Markets going red won the poll by far. That was a pretty big showing in the poll, though. I like it. Good stuff, guys. Great stuff. Wes is lurking, but they voted. Appreciate you, Wes. That's good. That means you get a gold star. But all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and call it there. Appreciate everybody for joining up. Have a fantastic rest of the day. If you need anything, of course, let us know in the Discord. We have a lot of new updates in the works. Trading Floor members have already gotten to see it a bit with the Auto Trends new channel. If you're a Trading Floor member, go check out Auto Trends. If you're not yet a Trading Floor member, join in. The deal is going to be ending tonight to take $150 off of yearly. $150 off. Use the link I'm sending in the chat and code StockedUp at checkout. This is what will save you the money. Let's go, though. These updates are going to be fun. It's much more than just the auto trends, too. There's going to be a lot involved with it. Let's crush it here into the end of the year. Look at CL starting to fall down now again. New low of the day, just touched. Not good. Crude oil starting to touch 116, breaking lower. But other than that, have a great rest of your Taco Tuesday. Let's see if Trump does the taco trade again or if he sticks to his guns. It's going to be a fun day. I'll talk to you all later. See you in the Discord.